So the chapter reads as self-control. Firstly, beautiful nature, amazing. And these are my coasters. This is my creation. If you'd like to order in and stuff, we have stuff like this in plenty, whatever number you want, small quantity, big quantity. You want your name, you want your logo, you want a nice message to go on this. You want your brand's name, you want your daughter's name, your son's name, whatever occasion. Get in touch, okay? So now this is about self control. So self control, you can do it if you believe in it, okay? So, two things are important: self control, enthusiasm. We all know that enthusiasm is really important. I mean, imagine you wake up with good energy. Hey, I got to do this. And the other person says, so what's so great about that? We do it every day. So, your spirits are going to be down, your energy is going to be down and stuff. But if you have somehow who's equally excited and kind of looking forward to the day and stuff, you can be a good team and you can take forward whatever purpose or whatever you're setting out to do. So the author says that enthusiasm is a vital quality that arouses you to action, while self-control is the balance that drives your action so that it will build up and not tear you down. So we we're looking for people to be balanced. We're looking for people to have self control. We're not looking for people to be as rude and as nasty and as negative as the world shows us. And we're looking at people who are kind of going to be examples of not kind of being easy on their temper and stomping in and losing it and not kind of doing a control onto the situation and stuff. So he says there is something rotten as hell about the man who's always trying to show other people that he can be an equal, and he's trying to kind of take revenge, and he's trying to be the devil when the situation's got to be something as beautiful as a heaven. Okay, and he says that to be a person who is balanced, you must be a person who's got enthusiasm and self control. And they've done a they've done a test on 1,60,000 adult inmates of the jails in United States, and they've kind of had a startling fact that 92% of these unfortunate men and women are in prison because they lack the necessary self-control to direct their energies constructively. So this is not just about daily life. This is also about crime. This is also about humanity. This is also about war and terrorism and stuff like that, because people are conditioned in a certain manner. Children losing their lives, wives losing their families, and elders losing their families and stuff, because people have lost self-control, or people are kind of conditioned in the wrong notions and with the wrong thought processes to kind of get into situations where they can hurt people and they can kind of create terrorism and stuff like that. And he says, study the records of those the world calls great, and you will observe that one of the best quality that they possess is the quality of self-control. So he says, he's mentioned Lincoln here, he mentioned some other leaders here, and he says there's so many examples I have here where my conscience has pointed out a finger at me, saying that I have tried to win so many times in various situations in my life and stuff, but I've been defeated when I kind of thought about my conscience and stuff. And many people think that being the aggressors and standing in the wrong is the only way to win and stuff, but they don't understand this is the only way to intensify any humiliation and to look like an idiot or a fool. So there are all kinds of people, all kind of personalities. They have to justify why they're doing this, why they're doing that. But the point is, rather than focusing on how badly people are behaving and how badly they're conducting themselves and what state of mind and stuff, it is very important for you to have a personal control and have a personal regard for your own conduct and your own behavior and stuff. And they say so that, great people are those, great personalities are those whom people are talking good about and stuff. I mean, not through TRPs, not through scripted and practice videos and stuff like that, but genuinely speaking, you can see the conduct of those people and stuff. Rest, if you're going to focus on the negative of the person, nobody can help you. But the point is, each person is evolving, each person is changing, and people choose to look at only those 3-4 factors. I've already shared this before, but the point is, it's because of the lack of knowledge, it's because they've not improved or changed themselves and stuff like that, or they're probably they've been listening to what the world has to say, or what the families have to say, or other people have to say. That's called gossip and stuff. And I've had this situation so many times where some youngsters from places have come to me and told me that this is what they're talking about you in the group, and I'm like, why are you so bothered about it? I mean, if they're talking about it, let them, and one statement I remember I made was many years back, dogs bark. So if your dog is barking, I'm not going to kind of pay attention to that and stuff. Why would I? I'd rather focus on my own self. And if they have so much of time to talk about me and discuss about me, it obviously means that there must be something about me, right? I mean, why would people talk about other people? Either you're impressed by them or you don't like them. The only two reasons and stuff. So this is not a share on this, but the point is that self-control with enthusiasm matters a lot, and people follow, people remember, and everything is not about TV, everything is not about social media and stuff. Children form impressions, elders form impressions, animals feel it too. Senior citizens in your community will form impression and stuff like that. And I'm not blowing my horn here, but after Corona and to a few months back, a lot of people have walked up to me and told me, we've never seen you losing your cool over anything in the sector. How do you do it? So I don't want to blow my own trumpet. I do have a downside to me sometimes and stuff, but that's when I'm like really pushed. So the point is, my suggestion and my advice is that rather than being a person who's temperamental, who's on a short fuse mostly, try and work on your own temperament, try and work on your own balancing act, try and work on your own self. I mean, I have a neck cervical pain, and sometimes I just want to scream the shit out of it. If I'm taken to a doctor, like yesterday I went to a doctor and somebody with me was not behaving nicely, I have two ways to kind of be in a situation. Either I lose my temper and I throw a fit and I scream and stuff, or I say, hey, can you just take it easy, please? I've got my neck pain happening. Please, can you just take it easy? Can you please let it be? And please understand where I'm coming from, because I know how I'm feeling. And rather than creating an unpleasantness in the car or at home or in the office or whatever, I think it's a great idea for me to let you know that, I'm not feeling that great. So just stay away from me or just give me some space and stuff, because I may not be at my best behavior, or something in you or something which people are going to do in that environment will take me off or whatever. So if I'm asking someone to give me space, and if somebody asks you to give them space and stuff, because they want to take a breather, or because they're going through something, or maybe they're processing something and stuff, it should be taken in a positive manner. And I think Simon Shrek has also shared this in one of his talks abroad, that if somebody is aware on how they're feeling, and forget demons, forget monsters, forget triggers, forget mental health, forget emotional health. If someone is saying, give me space, let me be, because I want to collect myself, and I'm sorry I can't talk, I've got pain in my neck, or I've got pain in my tooth and stuff, I think what people should understand is that you got to be nice to that person, and not throwing your own fit and tantrums and push the person the wrong way and stuff. So I see a lot of people also in Buddhism and in my community circle, they come and they talk about my leg pain and stuff like that. We don't sit around here and kind of make fun of it. We try and help them. We try and tell them that you can see this doctor, that doctor and stuff. So my advice is that when a person is telling you that this is the way they're going to feel, take it in a positive manner. They may have a story behind them, there may be an experience they have with them, they may have been through the same situation, and they've learned the lesson, that walk away. And I'm giving you another example. I used to work for a media company, and my boss used to really scream on me. And I was like, you know what? I mean, I would not give any reaction, I would not say anything, and I would be taken lightly and casually. And I think I've shared this before. Once I picked up my bag and I threw the bag. The second time I just picked up some books and I threw the books. I gave my reaction and I walked away. And I had those people coming back and apologizing to me and hiring me back. So what I'm saying is that sometimes people in environments can't control themselves, because that's the way they've been. They think it's their birthright to scream. They've been in a relationship mess. So, they have their own blockages and their own, stuff that they're projecting. And this boss of mine was having a divorce and he was going through some therapy. I'd only advised him and recommended this, and the doctor had said, yes, she's right, and he was working on that. And then he came and he said thank you to me and stuff and all that, and then rest is jazz. But the point is this, that to be balanced does not mean that you do not have your boundaries, or you do not have your assertion in place. It also doesn't mean that you have to keep screaming and shouting and stuff like that. You can always say something in a polite manner, But again, it is about what community you're from. It's your upbringing and stuff. If you're going to be in a Haryanvi family, if you're going to be in a Punjabi family, if you're going to be in a South African family, if you're going to be in a Russian family, people behave differently and stuff. And all these words about she's being violent, she's being aggressive, she's being loud, she's being this, she's being that, it doesn't work. People behave differently, and people are different in different environments and stuff. So self control helps. You control yourself, take charge of your emotions and stuff, and stop focusing on the other personalities in the world and stuff, because your day and night becomes about those people. And if you want to have a great life, if you want to have some great stuff happening in your life, get some dreams, get some goals, get some ambitions and stuff like that, because shit happens every day. But it doesn't mean that you spend your time and energies only focusing on other people. Think about bigger stuff, think about the world, think about what you want to do, places you want to explore, where you want to eat out. It's not about jobs and work always. If I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to sit here and think about my job and my work and stuff. I'm going to think about what's going to make me feel better, man. I'm going to think about my own hobbies and my passions and stuff. So make use of the time also to kind of think about self improvement and personality development and stuff. Be focused on videos, maybe around sports, maybe about hobbies, maybe about music, maybe about personalities all across the world and stuff, because you will have a pretty bigger and an expansive state of mind when you kind of get back to your workspace, or you step into your community after that. So love and luck, take care, have fun, have a blast, and enjoy yourself, and have